Hello friend, so glad you're here tonight. Get comfortable, pull the covers up and let the day loosen its grip. There's nowhere else you need to be. Before we begin, a small request. Most of the people listening tonight aren't subscribed. If this channel has ever helped you drift off, take a moment to subscribe and tap the like button on tonight's video. Both are free, they take 2 seconds and they help this channel more than you'd think. And you can always change your mind later. And if you feel like it, leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I love reading them. In the heart of the ancient world, amidst the rolling hills and vast skies of Canaan, a man named Jacob experienced something extraordinary. He had a vision, a divine revelation that would forever change his life. This was no ordinary dream. It was a message directly from God, connecting earth to heaven. Before this night is over, you will understand what makes this story one of the most profound and significant in the entire Bible. The setting was Bethel, a place of worship and spiritual significance, where Jacob had laid his head to rest one evening. As he slept, he dreamt of a ladder stretching from the ground all the way up to heaven itself. And on this ladder, something extraordinary happened. Angels ascended and descended. In Genesis 28:22, we find the detailed account of this remarkable vision. Jacob sees angels moving up and down on a ladder that serves as a bridge between the earth and heaven. This is not just any ladder, it represents God's covenant with Jacob, a promise of divine protection and guidance. The word divine itself carries deep significance, referring to something extremely good or unusually lovely. In the context of Jacob's vision, it takes on a profound meaning. This was not just a dream, it was a message from the highest authority, establishing an eternal connection. Imagine for a moment the magnitude of such a vision. Jacob, a humble patriarch from the Hebrew Bible, witnessed angels traversing this celestial bridge as if it were an ordinary walkway. The very sight of these heavenly beings signified that God was with him, watching over him. But what does this vision truly mean? And why is it so significant in the context of faith and history? As we delve deeper into Jacob's story, you will discover how this divine revelation shaped not only his life, but also the course of religious belief through generations. For now, let us settle into the quiet wonder of this momentous event. A ladder connecting earth to heaven. What could be more profound and reassuring? Tonight, we will unravel the layers of meaning behind this extraordinary vision. As we continue our journey through Jacob's story, we will explore how this divine revelation influenced his life and the lives of countless others. Stay with us to learn more about the profound impact of this vision on faith and history. One more thing before we begin. I'm also a co-founder of a sleep app, built to be the most affordable one out there. No ads, ever. Just sounds and stories made to help you sleep. It may not be released yet as this video goes up, but if you're watching a little later, it might be out by now. Just search for it, it should be easy to find. It works on iPhone, Android, and everything in between. Downloading it is the best way to support this channel. Angels are spiritual beings created by God to serve him and carry out his will on earth. Throughout history, angels have played a significant role as messengers of God. The word angel comes from the Hebrew term malach, which means messengers or envoy. In Jacob's vision, these divine messengers ascend and descend on a ladder connecting earth to heaven. This biblical narrative underscores the idea that angels are spiritual beings tasked with conveying God's messages. The vision in Genesis reveals that angels serve as intermediaries between humans and the divine realm. God's role in creating and sustaining all things is deeply connected to this idea of angelic messengers. In Jacob's vision, the angels act as a symbol of God's covenant with him. This profound connection between earth and heaven signifies that God is always present and involved in human lives. His birth was the result of a divine promise made to his grandfather Abraham, that through his offspring all nations would be blessed. As the younger twin of Esau, Jacob's journey is one of personal growth and deepening relationship with God. It is in these moments of vulnerability that Jacob encounters the divine presence. a pattern that would continue throughout his life. Born in Canaan and later living in Haran with his uncle Laban, Jacob experiences the world through a lens of profound spirituality. His story is not just one of lineage and prophecy, but also a deeply personal tale of faith and resilience. As we delve deeper into Jacob's life, the significance of his divine vision becomes clear, a pivotal moment in his spiritual journey. The stage is set for an encounter that will forever change the course of Jacob's life. Jacob's vision of the divine ladder is a profound moment in biblical history, one that holds deep significance and meaning. Let us explore this powerful symbol of God's covenant with Jacob. This vision took place in Bethel, a significant location that later became known as the House of God. The name itself underscores the divine presence and importance of this site. Jacob, upon waking from his dream, sets up a memorial stone, anointing it with oil as a sign of the divine covenant he has witnessed. This act of consecration is not just a physical marker, but a spiritual one, embodying Jacob's commitment to uphold God's promise. In the context of this divine covenant, Bethel becomes not merely a geographical location, but a spiritual beacon, a reminder of the unbreakable bond between God and his people. Throughout history, this image of the ladder has been used to signify connections between the physical world and the spiritual one, echoing God's ongoing relationship with his chosen people. In the grand tapestry of faith, Jacob's ladder serves as a powerful symbol of divine intervention and guidance, reassuring believers that God is ever present in their lives. The deeper spiritual significance behind Jacob's vision lies in its affirmation of faith. No matter the challenges or uncertainties, God's covenant remains steadfast. Bethel, a name etched in the annals of faith and history. It's more than just a location, it's a spiritual sanctuary where divine encounters have left indelible marks on humanity. This divine encounter didn't happen in just any place. It was at Bethel, a town originally named Luz. This name change, from Luz to Bethel, carries profound significance. The Hebrew word Bethel translates to house of God, highlighting its spiritual importance. The name Bethel itself is a testament to the divine presence felt there. It's not just a historical landmark, it's a prophetic stage, a place where God has continuously spoken and acted throughout history. Bethel isn't simply about the past. It points towards Christ. The vision of angels on the ladder serves as a foreshadowing of Jesus, who is called the Ladders in John's Gospel. This place of divine encounter bridges the old and new covenants, offering a glimpse into God's eternal plan. Today, Bethel continues to thrive as a congregation in Redding, California, carrying on the legacy of faith and divine encounter established long ago. This modern-day Bethel stands as a beacon, demonstrating that the spiritual significance of this place endures through the ages. The story of Luz transforming into Bethel is more than just a renaming, it's a narrative of divine revelation and human response. It reminds us that God chooses specific places, moments, and people to reveal himself in profound ways. As we reflect on Bethel, it's not just about the place, it's about the divine encounters that shape our faith. The vision at Bethel affirms that no matter the challenges or uncertainties, God's covenant remains steadfast and his presence is ever present in our lives. So when we consider Bethel, the house of God, we are reminded of more than a historical event. We're invited to contemplate the ongoing divine dialogue between humanity and the eternal, unchanging presence of our Creator. God's eternal promise is not merely a passing sentiment, it is an unshakable foundation that has endured for millennia, anchoring countless lives in faith and hope. In the Christian tradition, God's eternity is one of his most profound attributes, a testament to his unchanging nature and everlasting presence. While other qualities of God may evolve in their interpretations over time, the concept of his eternal promise remains constant. This divine attribute finds its earliest and most vivid manifestation in the biblical narrative of Jacob's ladder. Through this vision, Jacob is assured of an eternal promise that transcends his mortal lifespan, offering him solace amidst uncertainty. The eternity of God's promises echoes through history, from Jacob's time to the present day, binding believers together in a shared legacy of faith and devotion. In this context, Jacob's vision takes on an enduring significance, reminding us that God's eternal promises are not confined to any single moment, but stretch across the expanse of human experience. The image of a ladder bridging the gap between the divine and human realms carries universal themes that speak to spiritual seekers today. First, it underscores the idea of divine right, an authority or power similar to that of a god. This concept extends beyond Jacob's time, reminding us that spiritual leadership is about more than mere human influence. Jacob's vision serves as a reminder that spiritual journeys are marked by both ascent and descent. There is a continuous dialogue between our earthly selves and the divine, a cycle echoed in the movement of angels on the ladder. The vision's depiction of angels moving both up and down suggests that communication with the divine is not one way, but a dynamic interchange. This dynamic speaks to our own spiritual journey, which involves moments of inspiration and guidance from above, as well as times when we must descend into the practical realities of life on earth. The ladder itself stands as a symbol of mediation, a bridge between worlds that is stable and reliable, much like faith in God's promises. Thus, the divine vision of Jacob's ladder becomes more than just a historical event. It serves as a timeless parable for spiritual seekers today, offering insights into the nature of divine communication and faith. In our own quests for spiritual meaning, we find in this ancient vision a reassurance that God's promises are constant and reliable, guiding us through the ebbs and flows of life. In Genesis 32:24-30, we read that Jacob wrestled with a mysterious figure whom he later recognized as God himself. This encounter was not merely symbolic, but left tangible marks on both Jacob and the landscape around him. The wrestling continued throughout the night, an intense struggle that reflected Jacob's inner turmoil. This divine visitation was a direct response to his prayers and questions, as if God had been waiting for this moment to reveal himself in a profound way. In the midst of this wrestling match, Jacob received a new name, Israel. This was not just a simple renaming, but a profound transformation, reflecting God's commitment to Jacob and his people. The name Israel carries immense significance in Hebrew tradition. It comes from the root Yisraz, which means to struggle or to contend with. This new identity signified a lifetime of wrestling with God, and it echoed through generations. Jacob's transformation did not occur in isolation, but as part of a larger divine covenant that stretched back to his vision at Bethel. This encounter at the Jabbok River was another step in God's grand plan, connecting past promises with future realities. For believers throughout history, Jacob's story serves as a poignant reminder that our own spiritual journeys involve moments of wrestling and struggle. These encounters can lead to profound transformations and new understandings of our identity in God. Even today, the site of Jacob's wrestling match at the Jabbok River stands as a testament to this transformative encounter. It serves as a physical reminder of God's promise and our own spiritual journey through life's challenges. In the quiet aftermath of Jacob's wrestling match, there was a sense of resolution, a divine assurance that even in our darkest struggles, God is present and guiding us toward our true purpose. The ladder in Jacob's vision can be seen as a metaphor for the steps of faith and spiritual discipline required to reach God's presence. Each rung represents a stage in our spiritual development, from humble beginnings to divine encounter. Historically, the idea of ascending and descending has been interpreted as a journey towards enlightenment or union with the divine. Some view it as an inner spiritual pilgrimage, while others see it as a literal encounter with heavenly beings. In Genesis 28:1-15, God stands at the top of the ladder, signifying his ultimate authority and presence over all things. The angels moving up and down illustrate the continual communication between heaven and earth, a reminder that divine guidance is always accessible to those who seek it. As you continue your own path, remember Jacob's vision, a symbol of progression towards the divine. Each rung you climb brings you closer to understanding and union with God. With this deeper understanding, rest in the knowledge that even in your darkest moments, divine guidance is always within reach, guiding you towards your true purpose. In ancient biblical contexts, dreams held profound significance as a medium for divine communication. They were not merely the mind's musings during sleep, but often regarded as revelations directly from God. In the ancient Near Eastern religions, dream visions were considered sacred means through which deities could convey messages or prophecies. For instance, in Mesopotamian mythology, the Epic of Gilgamesh features dream sequences that foretell future events and serve as warnings from divine entities. In different faith traditions, the interpretation of dreams varies widely. In Judaism, for example, dream visions are seen as potential revelations from God. In Christianity, dreams can also be regarded as vehicles for divine communication, though they are typically subject to scrutiny and theological interpretation. The vision of Jacob's ladder serves as a quintessential example of the divine use of dream states to communicate with humanity. Thus, understanding dreams not merely as psychological phenomena, but as potential conduits for divine revelation can deepen our appreciation of their spiritual significance. In this light, even seemingly mundane dreams might hold profound spiritual insights or messages that we are called to discern and act upon. Resting in the knowledge of this divine communication through dreams can guide us towards a deeper understanding of our purpose and connection to the divine. As we navigate this world, let us be open to the revelations that can come through the dream state, trusting that divine guidance is always within reach. But Bethel is not alone in its significance. Throughout Scripture, there are several sacred places that serve as pivotal points of connection between the divine and humanity. In Genesis 12:8, God appears to Abram in a vision and promises him the land of Canaan. This divine encounter marked the beginning of Abraham's journey and the establishment of his covenant with God. The city of Shechem also holds deep spiritual meaning, as it was here that Joshua gathered the people of Israel to renew their covenant with God after their journey from Egypt. This event underscored the importance of remaining faithful to divine law. These places, including Bethel, serve as more than just historical sites. They are living symbols of faith and divine interaction. They remind us that sacred spaces are not merely geographical points, but spiritual touchstones where the boundary between the human and the divine is thin. In the New Testament, Jesus himself visits these sacred sites, including Capernaum and the Mount of Olives, reaffirming their spiritual importance across generations. His teachings in these places echo the divine promises made centuries earlier. Throughout history, these sacred places have been congregations of worshippers, witnesses to divine revelations, and stages for prophetic declarations. They remind us that the divine is not distant, but intimately connected with humanity's story. As we contemplate these sacred spaces, let us remember that they are not just relics of the past, but living testaments to God's ongoing interaction with humanity. Bethel and other sacred places continue to hold enduring spiritual significance as beacons of faith and divine guidance. Perhaps in quiet moments, we too might find ourselves standing at the foot of a ladder, experiencing a divine vision that connects us to the eternal covenant of God's love and care for all creation. Moving to the 19th century, William Blake's illustrations for his book The Marriage of Heaven and Hell showcased his interpretation of Jacob's ladder. Blake's angels are dynamic and full of motion, reflecting the artist's vision of divine energy and spiritual evolution. Similarly, Nicholas Poussin's The Shepherds of Arcadia hints at the ladder vision through its pastoral scene. This painting, with its subtle nod to Jacob's dream, speaks to the universality of divine revelations in quiet moments. In more recent times, artists like M.C. Escher have explored the ladder concept through abstract designs. Escher's Ascending and Descending, for instance, uses geometric patterns to symbolize the timeless journey between worlds. Across various faith traditions, Jacob's ladder has been interpreted in unique ways that reflect societal beliefs and spiritual narratives. But the symbolism doesn't stop there. In Genesis 11, we encounter another significant ladder story, the Tower of Babel. The people decide to build a tower that reaches into the heavens. This ambitious project was an attempt by humans to create their own pathway to God, challenging divine authority and order. While Jacob's ladder represents a direct link between heaven and earth bestowed by God, the Tower of Babel illustrates human arrogance. The construction of the tower was halted, not due to its physical impossibility, but because it symbolized humans defying divine decree, as God confounded their language. Throughout Scripture, ladders serve as powerful metaphors for divine connection and human aspiration. They signify paths to spiritual elevation that can either align with or challenge divine will. As we continue our exploration, let us keep in mind how these sacred narratives have shaped human understanding of our place in the divine order and the profound lessons they hold for faith and humility. But this is not the only biblical account where angels play a significant role. In Ezekiel's visions, as recorded in chapters 1 and 10, angels also serve as messengers and agents of divine communication. In these passages, Ezekiel sees a vision of 4 living creatures, each with 4 wings and the face of a man. These creatures are described as cherubim, similar to the seraphim encountered by Isaiah. These angelic beings carry out God's commands, moving with a sound like thunder and accompanied by flashes of lightning. Their role as celestial messengers is clear, echoing the divine purpose seen in Jacob's ladder. The book of Revelation further illustrates this theme with a complex vision of angels. In chapters 4 to 5 and 22, John of Patmos encounters numerous angelic figures. One notable appearance is an angel who stands on both land and sea, declaring that there shall be no more delay. This figure signifies the urgency and importance of the messages being conveyed. These angelic beings are not merely symbols, but active participants in divine communication, reflecting a common thread in biblical visions. Angels serve as intermediaries between the divine and humanity. Understanding these visions collectively offers insight into the profound role of angels in bridging the gap between the divine and human realms. They are not just figures of awe, but agents of divine will, guiding humanity through sacred narratives that continue to shape our understanding of our place in the cosmic order. Centuries later, the prophet Deborah and Barak meet here to prepare for battle against the Canaanite general Sisera. In this same location, Gideon is called by the angel of the Lord to lead Israel against the Midianites. Gideon's victory marks another pivotal moment in Bethel's history. The renewal of covenants is a recurring theme in Bethel's story. King Jeroboam, after being warned by an old prophet, builds golden calves here to create idols and lead Israel into sin. But Bethel's story doesn't end in darkness. In the New Testament, it is here where Jesus meets the Samaritan woman at the well, marking a significant turning point in her faith and life. Throughout history, Bethel has been a site of divine encounter and spiritual renewal. Its legacy serves as a reminder of the continuity and power of divine intervention in our lives. As we journey through faith, may the story of Bethel guide us towards moments of divine encounter and spiritual renewal. The divine vision of Jacob's ladder, as recorded in Genesis, has been a cornerstone of theological thought for both Jewish and Christian communities. This imagery has had profound implications for understanding divine intervention and the nature of spiritual beings. Jewish interpretations often focus on the idea of a ladder to heaven, reflecting the belief in a direct connection between the physical and spiritual realms. For Christians, Jacob's ladder is seen as a prefiguration of Christ's role as the mediator between God and humanity. Both traditions emphasize the idea that divine communication and guidance are available to those who seek it. The vision in Genesis serves as a reminder that spiritual encounters can transform individual lives and shape collective faiths. Throughout history, the image of Jacob's ladder has inspired countless artists and theologians to explore its depths. Whether seen as a literal ladder or a metaphor for spiritual growth, Jacob's vision remains an enduring symbol of divine connection and guidance. In the realm of Jewish mysticism, Jacob's vision takes on a profound significance that has shaped spiritual thought for centuries. According to the Zohar, an ancient Jewish text, this ladder represents a channel through which divine blessings flow from heaven to earth. In this mystical context, the angels ascending and descending on the ladder are seen as divine messengers transmitting God's will. For Kabbalists, The ladder serves as a reminder that human actions and spiritual practices can influence the divine realm. This interpretation has had a profound impact on Jewish spirituality, emphasizing the reciprocal relationship between humans and the divine. The Zohar's perspective on Jacob's ladder has been instrumental in shaping Jewish mystical traditions over the centuries. In fact, many contemporary Kabbalistic practices and meditations are deeply rooted in this interpretation of Jacob's divine encounter. As we trace the evolution of this vision throughout history, it becomes clear how it has evolved from a personal narrative into a symbol of profound spiritual significance. The interpretation of Jacob's ladder as a conduit for divine blessings has transformed it into a central tenet of Jewish mystical thought. This evolution shows how ancient narratives can continue to influence and shape modern spiritual practices. Understanding the divine vision of Jacob's ladder within the context of Jewish mysticism provides a richer and more nuanced perspective on its enduring significance. Beyond the context of Jewish mysticism, early Christian perspectives on Jacob's divine vision offer a unique lens into spiritual practices and theology. Origen, one of the most revered theologians of his time, saw in Jacob's ladder a representation of the divine ascent of the soul. He believed that the angels ascending and descending on the ladder symbolized the continuous communication between God and humanity, with the ladder serving as a conduit for spiritual growth and enlightenment. Gregory of Nyssa, another prominent church father, expanded on this idea by emphasizing the allegorical significance of Jacob's vision. He viewed the ladder as a metaphor for the spiritual journey, where each rung represents a step closer to divine union with God. In monastic traditions, Jacob's vision has been interpreted similarly, serving as an inspiration for spiritual disciplines aimed at ascending towards God. These practices include prayer, fasting, and contemplative silence, each designed to help monks climb the ladder of divine ascent. By exploring these early Christian interpretations, we gain insight into how Jacob's vision has shaped not only theological thought, but also spiritual practices that have endured for centuries. The visual representation of angels moving between realms conveys a sense of divine communication and protection, reflecting the medieval church's emphasis on the role of angels as intermediaries. Manuscript illuminations from this era also feature Jacob's vision prominently. In these intricate artworks, the ladder is often surrounded by a halo of light, emphasizing its divine origin and importance. The artistic depictions of Jacob's ladder are not just about the vision itself, but also about the spiritual journey it represents. The ladder's upward trajectory serves as a visual metaphor for ascending to God's presence. Through these medieval interpretations, we see how artists sought to convey the profound spiritual message of Jacob's vision in a way that was both beautiful and accessible. And while the specific artworks may vary, the core message remains consistent. Jacob's ladder serves as a powerful symbol of divine connection and human aspiration towards the heavens. In this way, medieval art not only visually interpreted, but also communicated the spiritual significance of Jacob's vision, ensuring that its profound meaning continued to resonate through the ages. As we delve into contemporary interpretations, the vision of Jacob's ladder continues to captivate scholars and archaeologists alike. Bethel, where Jacob saw his divine vision, remains a site of intense academic interest. Archaeological findings at Bethel reveal layers of human habitation dating back to the Bronze Age. These discoveries suggest that the site was significant long before Jacob's time. Researchers have unearthed ancient artifacts and structures that hint at Bethel's role as a sacred or ceremonial center. This challenges the biblical timeline and adds complexity to our understanding of the narrative. One school of thought posits that Jacob's vision may have been influenced by earlier mythological motifs. The ladder connecting earth and heaven could be a reinterpretation of ancient Near Eastern cosmology. Another interpretation sees Jacob's vision as an early form of monotheistic belief, marking a shift from polytheism to the worship of a single deity. The discovery of inscriptions at Bethel mentioning divine figures further complicates the picture. These findings raise questions about the historicity of the biblical account and its origins. despite these complexities, Jacob's vision endures as a powerful symbol within faith traditions. Its continuing relevance underscores the rich tapestry of biblical scholarship. Scholars today grapple with these enigmatic elements, seeking to reconcile archaeological data with scriptural narratives. This ongoing exploration keeps the vision of Jacob's ladder vivid and intriguing. The ladder's symbolism transcends time, embodying a universal quest for divine connection. As such, it resonates with modern seekers, bridging the gap between ancient faith and contemporary spirituality. Jacob's vision in Genesis continues to inspire scholarly debates, reminding us of the enduring complexity and richness of biblical studies. Its meaning remains as elusive as it is profound. Thus, the divine vision on Jacob's ladder remains a subject of intrigue and fascination in both academic circles and faith communities today. Beyond its prominent place in Christian theology, Jacob's ladder has also held profound significance within Jewish thought. In the rich tapestry of rabbinic literature, numerous interpretations and traditions surrounding this vision have emerged. According to this view, the ladder serves as a physical manifestation of God's everlasting promise. In the Midrash Rabbah, a different perspective is offered. Jacob's ladder is seen as a bridge between heaven and earth, traversed by angels. This interpretation underscores the idea of divine messengers serving as intermediaries between realms. Another significant interpretation in the Midrash Tanchuma suggests that the ladder represents the various stages of spiritual growth and ascent towards divine enlightenment. Here, the ladder serves as a metaphor for the spiritual journey and the steps taken towards divine wisdom. Furthermore, in the Zohar, a mystical interpretation posits that Jacob's ladder signifies the unification of the divine with the human realm. This interpretation highlights the mystical connection and harmony between the sacred and the mundane. Throughout these various interpretations, a common thread emerges. Jacob's ladder serves as a powerful symbol of divine connection and spiritual ascent. These interpretations deepen our understanding of how this vision has been understood and revered within Jewish thought over centuries. Each interpretation offers a unique lens through which to view this profound vision, enriching our appreciation of its enduring significance. In exploring these diverse perspectives, we gain a deeper appreciation for the richness and complexity of rabbinic literature. Ultimately, the vision of Jacob's ladder remains a source of inspiration and contemplation, bridging the realms of faith and scholarly inquiry. In the early Christian art of catacomb paintings, a striking visual narrative emerges from the vision of Jacob's ladder in Genesis. These subterranean galleries, secreted away beneath Rome, served as both places of worship and remembrance for persecuted believers. Such mosaics were not merely decorative, they held deep spiritual significance for the faithful, visually anchoring their beliefs and hopes. Each angel on Jacob's ladder could be seen as a manifestation of God's divine presence and his unfailing promise. Early Christian manuscripts, too, carry this powerful imagery. The Vatican Library houses illuminated texts where Jacob's ladder is beautifully illustrated, often accompanied by exquisite calligraphy detailing the divine encounter. These artifacts collectively illustrate the enduring impact of Jacob's ladder on early Christian visual culture, bridging the realms of faith and scholarly inquiry. Each depiction serves as a tangible reminder of the divine vision that has shaped religious beliefs across centuries. This vision is significant in Islamic traditions as it underscores the importance of divine guidance and the covenant between God and his believers. It echoes similar themes found in the Hebrew Bible, emphasizing the continuity of faith across different religious texts. Sufi scholars, like Ibn Arabi, have interpreted Jacob's ladder as a metaphor for spiritual ascent and divine revelation. The ladder represents the various stages of spiritual development that a Sufi must traverse to reach closer communion with God. Ibn Arabi emphasizes the journey of self-purification and spiritual growth required to climb this ladder. Each rung symbolizes a deeper understanding and closer proximity to divine truths. The significance of Jacob's ladder extends beyond its literal interpretation to encompass the broader themes of faith, spiritual growth, and divine connection. It serves as a powerful symbol across various Islamic traditions and Sufi thought, inviting believers to seek higher spiritual realms and deeper understanding of God. By exploring Jacob's ladder through the lens of Islamic traditions and Sufi thought, we broaden our understanding of its enduring significance across different religious contexts. It stands as a timeless symbol, uniting various beliefs in their quest for divine truths. Jacob's ladder is not merely a biblical narrative, but an enduring symbol that has captivated the minds of scholars and believers alike throughout history. Modern biblical scholarship offers fresh perspectives on this divine vision, unraveling its profound meanings and historical context. Recent archaeological discoveries in Bethel have shed new light on the site's significance, providing tangible connections to Jacob's visionary encounter. Scholars now debate whether Bethel was originally a Canaanite sacred site before it became associated with the patriarch Jacob. This hypothesis is supported by archaeological evidence that predates biblical accounts. Some experts argue that Bethel's initial significance as a holy place may have influenced the later biblical narrative, rather than the other way around. This interpretation challenges traditional views, but also enriches our understanding of how ancient religious practices evolved into the monotheistic faiths we know today. Moreover, recent biblical scholarship has delved deeper into the symbolism of angels ascending and descending on a ladder. They suggest that this vision represents not just God's covenant with Jacob, but also the interplay between heavenly and earthly realms, reflecting a broader divine order. This interpretation places Jacob's ladder within the broader context of ancient Near Eastern cosmology, where heavenly beings often served as intermediaries between gods and humans. Archaeological findings in Bethel that date back to the Bronze Age further support this cosmological perspective, offering physical evidence of such beliefs. These discoveries include artifacts depicting angelic figures and other celestial beings that were integral to the religious practices of the time. In summary, modern biblical scholarship and archaeological findings provide a richer, more nuanced understanding of Jacob's ladder. The phrase, "Behold, the Lord stood beside me," directly echoes Jacob's own words during his divine vision. This line carries immense significance in Jewish prayer services, reminding worshippers of God's enduring presence and covenant with his people. During certain holidays and on Shabbat, the vision is recited, linking past revelations to present-day observances. This recitation underscores the timeless relevance of Jacob's experience, bridging historical narratives with contemporary spirituality. Specific prayers and hymns often reference this divine ladder. These liturgical pieces serve as constant reminders of the unbroken chain between humanity and heaven, reinforcing the notion that the sacred is always accessible to those who seek it. In essence, Jacob's ladder in Jewish liturgy represents more than just a historical event. It serves as an enduring symbol of God's unwavering relationship with his people. Whether during holidays or Shabbat observances, this vision continues to inspire and guide believers. The fact that the phrase, "Behold, the Lord stood beside me," is still recited today highlights the lasting importance of Jacob's vision in Jewish faith. It serves as a testament to the enduring covenant between God and his chosen people. By incorporating this vision into their liturgy, Jews honor not just the historical figure of Jacob, but also the divine intervention that shaped his life. This inclusion emphasizes the idea that God's presence is not confined to ancient times, but remains active and present in the lives of believers today. The recitation of Jacob's vision during holidays and Shabbat services underscores how faith traditions are not static, but rather living, breathing aspects of religious life. They serve as tangible links connecting contemporary worshippers with the spiritual legacy of their ancestors. This enduring significance highlights how divine revelations continue to shape religious practices and beliefs, even thousands of years after their occurrence. Jacob's vision serves as a powerful touchstone that connects modern worshippers with the sacred experiences of their spiritual forebears. Among the early church fathers, Origen and Gregory of Nyssa are notable for their writings on Jacob's ladder. Origen saw the ladder as a metaphor for spiritual ascent, representing the journey of the soul towards divine union. He taught that just as angels traveled between heaven and earth, so too could the righteous ascend to divine realms. Gregory of Nyssa, drawing on Origen's ideas, further developed the concept of spiritual progression. He envisioned Jacob's ladder as a pathway for the soul to travel through stages of perfection, each stage representing deeper communion with God. These early Christian thinkers laid the groundwork for understanding Jacob's vision. As more than just a historical event, it became a symbol for the human aspiration towards divine connection. Their interpretations highlight how early Christian thought integrated deep biblical narratives into a framework for understanding the spiritual journey. Moreover, this symbolism underscores the enduring relevance of biblical visions in shaping religious beliefs and practices across centuries. The vision's meaning continues to be explored and reinterpreted, offering insights into the human quest for divine connection. In this way, Jacob's ladder serves as a foundational touchstone in Christian theology, connecting modern believers with the profound spiritual experiences of their ancestors. This divine vision, seen by Jacob millennia ago, remains a powerful symbol of the spiritual journey and the quest for divine union. The ladder stands as an enduring reminder that even in our modern world, the yearning for divine connection remains a profound aspect of human experience. As we reflect on this vision, we are invited to contemplate our own spiritual journeys and the paths that lead us towards divine union. In medieval mysticism, the divine vision of Jacob's ladder took on new dimensions of interpretation. The vision was seen as a pathway that the soul traverses in its quest for divine union. For some mystics, the ladder's base on earth and its top reaching heaven symbolize the connection between the physical world and the divine realm. This interpretation aligned with their belief in the potential for human spiritual ascent. Medieval practices and meditations often used the image of the ladder to guide believers in their own journey towards God. By visualizing the ladder and contemplating each rung, mystics could reflect on their own spiritual progress. This evolution from early Christian thought to medieval mysticism showed how interpretations of Jacob's ladder have evolved over time. As we contemplate this spiritual journey, we see how the vision continues to inspire seekers across different ages. In contemporary art and literature, the divine vision of Jacob's ladder continues to captivate and inspire creators across various disciplines. Modern artists often reinterpret this ancient narrative through their unique perspectives, drawing on its profound symbolism and spiritual significance. One notable example is a contemporary painting that shows angels climbing a ladder to reach out to humans on earth. This piece not only captures the essence of Jacob's vision, but also conveys a sense of longing and yearning for divine contact. Similarly, in literature, writers have used Jacob's ladder as a powerful metaphor to explore complex themes such as faith, hope, and the human quest for divine understanding. A recent novel uses this vision as a central motif, delving into the protagonist's spiritual awakening and their struggle to bridge the gap between their worldly existence and their longing for the transcendent. In sculpture, artists have created striking installations that physically represent the ladder, inviting viewers to contemplate the connection between heavenly realms and earthly existence. These works often include elements like lights or sound effects that enhance the immersive experience and evoke a sense of wonder and contemplation. Across these various artistic disciplines, the enduring relevance of Jacob's ladder is evident. It serves as a powerful reminder that the quest for spiritual connection and divine wisdom is timeless and universal, resonating with artists and seekers alike throughout history and across different cultures. As we explore these modern interpretations, we see how the vision of Jacob's ladder continues to inspire and challenge artists to delve deeper into their own spiritual explorations. The versatility of this ancient narrative allows it to be reimagined in countless ways, each offering a unique perspective on the human experience of seeking divine connection. In essence, Jacob's ladder remains an enduring symbol of hope and aspiration, one that continues to resonate with contemporary artists and writers as they seek to understand and express the complexities of human spirituality. Its enduring relevance illustrates the profound impact of this divine vision on modern culture and faith. Beyond its biblical roots, Jacob's Ladder has captivated theologians and scholars across different eras and faith traditions. Its allegorical interpretations have evolved, reflecting various perspectives on spirituality and divine connection. Origen believed that the angels ascending and descending symbolize the pathways by which spiritual beings communicate between heaven and earth. Gregory of Nyssa, a 4th century bishop, offered another perspective. He suggested that the ladder represents the hierarchical order of creation, with angels and humans in distinct roles. For Gregory, Jacob's vision underscores the harmony between heavenly and earthly realms, each with its unique purpose and place within God's grand design. Ambrose, a 4th century bishop of Milan, interpreted the ladder as a symbol of Christ's incarnation and his bridge-building role between humanity and God. Ambrose saw Jesus as the fulcrum, bridging the gap between divine perfection and human frailty. This interpretation highlights Christ's mediatory role in salvation history. These diverse interpretations showcase how Jacob's Ladder has been a rich and versatile symbol throughout theological history. Each perspective offers insight into how spiritual leaders have sought to understand and articulate the profound connection between heavenly and earthly realms. The enduring relevance of Jacob's vision illustrates its timeless resonance across different faith traditions, highlighting the universal quest for divine understanding. As we delve deeper into these allegorical interpretations, we come to appreciate the rich tapestry of meanings woven around this iconic biblical image. Each interpretation underscores that Jacob's Ladder is more than a simple narrative. It is a gateway into the profound complexities of human spirituality. As we continue our exploration, we will see how this divine vision has inspired generations to ponder their place in the cosmic order and their connection to the divine. In the Bible, dreams and visions are not mere fantasies, they are pivotal moments of divine revelation. They carry profound messages and shape destinies. Consider the case of Joseph, Jacob's son, who had a dream that was far more than a passing fantasy. Genesis 37:5-10 recounts how Joseph saw sheaves of grain bowing down to his own sheaf. This vision was not just a nighttime whimsy, it foreshadowed the future where Joseph's brothers would indeed bow down to him in Egypt. Solomon, known for his wisdom, had a vision at Gibeon that is detailed in 1 Kings 35:14. This vision confirmed God's covenant with him and granted him unparalleled wisdom. In Daniel 7:128, the prophet Daniel has a series of visions that reveal God's sovereignty over all kingdoms. The images in Daniel's dreams are vivid and symbolic. 4 beasts rising from the sea, a horned ram, and a goat with a prominent horn. These visions offer a glimpse into God's eternal plan and his ultimate triumph over earthly rulers. In each of these stories, dreams and visions serve as bridges, not to mere whimsical realms, but to the very heart of God's eternal wisdom. They are moments that both ground us in our human condition and elevate us to a divine perspective, offering comfort and guidance through the journey of faith. Thus, the story of Jacob's Ladder is not isolated, but part of a rich tapestry of divine interactions that have shaped our understanding of God and our place in his universe. Beyond the biblical narrative of Jacob's Ladder, apocryphal and pseudepigraphic texts offer fascinating interpretations of this divine vision. The Testament of Levi, an ancient Jewish text, also refers to Jacob's Ladder. It describes a vision where angels ascend and descend on the ladder, indicating a spiritual path for humanity to follow. This interpretation underscores the idea that humans can connect with divine realms through acts of faith and righteousness. Additionally, the Ladder of Jacob is a significant text in early Christian writings. It elaborates on the biblical account, detailing how angels carry messages between God and humanity. This depiction further emphasizes the role of angels as divine messengers, bridging the gap between heavenly and earthly realms. These texts expand our understanding of how the vision was interpreted in broader early Christian and Jewish contexts. They highlight the enduring significance of Jacob's Ladder as a symbol of divine connection and guidance, resonating through various spiritual traditions and scriptures. In contemporary spirituality, Jacob's Ladder continues to captivate theologians and scholars alike. It serves as a powerful metaphor for divine connection and guidance. One prominent figure who has delved into this symbol is Karl Barth, a Swiss theologian renowned for his influential work in Christian theology. Barth interprets Jacob's ladder as an emblem of divine revelation and grace. He argues that just as the ladder connects heaven to earth, God reaches down to humanity through Jesus Christ, bridging the gap between the divine and the human. Modern pastors and scholars have taken up these interpretations, applying them to contemporary spiritual practices. They emphasize that Jacob's ladder signifies a pathway of faith, where one can ascend to encounter God's presence and descend with divine insights to guide daily life. Prominent pastors use Jacob's ladder as a model for spiritual growth and discernment, encouraging followers to ascend in prayer and meditation, seeking God's wisdom, and then descend, applying that wisdom in practical ways. The vision of angels on the ladder also signifies the constant presence of spiritual guides and messengers who facilitate this divine communication. In modern practice, these guides are often understood as inspirations or intuitions that steer believers toward righteous paths. Throughout history and across diverse faith traditions, Jacob's ladder has maintained its significance as a symbol of divine connection and guidance. Today, it continues to inspire contemplative practices and theological explorations that resonate with believers seeking a deeper understanding of their spiritual journey. As we delve into these interpretations, it becomes clear that Jacob's ladder is more than just an ancient narrative. It is a living testament to the enduring relevance of divine connection in contemporary spirituality. In the rich tapestry of Jewish mysticism, Jacob's ladder takes on a profound symbolism. Kabbalists view this vision as a representation of divine emanation, a concept central to their beliefs. In Kabbalah, the ladder is seen as an image of the Sephirot, the 10 attributes or emanations through which God's infinite light flows into creation. These divine attributes, known as Keter, Chokmah, Binah, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut, are like rungs on a ladder descending from the infinite to the finite. Each of these attributes is a vessel for God's divine wisdom, with angels acting as transmitters of this sacred knowledge. This cycle is seen as a continuous exchange of spiritual insight between the infinite and the finite, creating a living connection between the divine realm and human experience. Through this lens, Jacob's ladder becomes a poignant metaphor for the ongoing dialogue between humanity and God, illustrating the eternal quest for divine understanding. In Kabbalistic thought, this vision underscores the belief that every human action has cosmic significance, reflecting back on the divine realm from which it originates. Delving deeper into the interpretations of Jacob's ladder, we turn to early Christian thought, particularly through the lens of the Church Fathers. These prominent figures such as Origen, Augustine, and Gregory of Nazianzus offered profound insights that have shaped our understanding of this divine vision. For Origen, this vision signified that divine grace and guidance are always available to those who seek God. In this way, the vision of Jacob's ladder continues to resonate, offering deep insights into our relationship with the divine and God's enduring presence in human affairs. And so, through the lenses of these church fathers, we gain a richer appreciation for the divine vision that has captivated generations. He believed that through faith alone, a concept known as sola fide believers could ascend to God, much like the angels in Jacob's dream. This interpretation emphasized the direct connection between humans and the divine, enabled by grace. John Calvin, another prominent reformer, expanded on this theme of divine grace. To him, Jacob's ladder illustrated God's unfailing promise to his people, even amidst adversity. Calvin viewed the ladder as a testament to God's steadfast covenant, reminding believers that despite trials and tribulations, divine grace would always prevail. Other reformers echoed this sentiment, seeing in Jacob's vision a reassurance of God's faithfulness and a pathway for humanity to commune with the divine. Their interpretations underscored the enduring significance of Jacob's ladder, not just as a historical account, but as a spiritual beacon guiding believers through turbulent times. Through this lens, the divine vision takes on new meaning, highlighting the reformers' emphasis on faith, grace, and the abiding promise of God. As the Reformation swept across Europe, Jacob's divine vision gained new interpretations and applications in Christian thought. One prominent figure was John Climacus, a 6th century monk who used the metaphor of Jacob's ladder to illustrate spiritual growth. Climacus wrote, "The ladder of divine ascent, a series of 30 rungs or steps that monks must climb to achieve spiritual perfection. Each rung represents a stage in the monk's journey, from the renunciation of worldly desires to the attainment of divine union." In this context, the ladder symbolizes the pathway between earth and heaven, with each rung marking a step closer to God. Climacus believed that by ascending these rungs, monks could purify their souls and draw nearer to divine grace. His work had a profound influence on later Christian writers and thinkers who adopted the ladder as a powerful symbol for spiritual growth and self-discipline. Through this allegorical use, Jacob's vision continues to shape Christian spirituality and monastic traditions today. Within the context of ancient Jewish sects, the interpretation of this divine vision takes on intriguing dimensions. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of manuscripts found near Qumran in the mid-20th century, offer unique insights into how some Jewish communities understood Jacob's ladder. Specifically, certain scrolls from this Essene community suggest that Jacob's vision symbolizes a spiritual journey or ascent. In texts like the Community Rule, Jacob's ladder is seen as a metaphor for the path towards righteousness and divine communion. For these ancient Jews, the ladder represents not just a passageway between realms, but also a spiritual pilgrimage that each individual must undertake. This interpretation underscores the Essenes' eschatological beliefs, emphasizing a collective spiritual ascension towards God. This deepens our understanding of the diverse historical interpretations of Jacob's vision, particularly within lesser-known Jewish sects like the Essenes. In the ancient world, ladders were more than mere tools, they held symbolic power. In Mesopotamian texts, ladders often represented divine connections, the means by which gods communicated with mortals. Similarly, in Egyptian mythology, ladders were used by deities to ascend and descend between realms. Dreams too held significance in these cultures. They were considered messages from the divine realm, conveying prophecies or warnings to mortals. His encounter with the divine is not isolated, it fits within a broader tapestry of ancient beliefs. Though unique in its details, it shares the same underlying themes of divine connection and communication. This understanding enriches our appreciation for Jacob's vision as a profound symbol of his covenant with God. In this ancient Near Eastern context, Jacob's ladder becomes a vivid illustration of the divine-human connection. As we ponder this vision, we gain deeper insight into the historical and cultural milieu that shaped it. Diving into the rich tapestry of early Christian thought, we find that Jacob's ladder was a vision that captivated many prominent church fathers. Origen, a prominent 3rd century theologian, saw in this ladder a symbol of God's divine grace and mercy. This interpretation was profoundly influential, shaping Christian doctrine regarding Christ's mediation and redemption. Other church fathers, like Gregory of Nyssa and Ambrose, also contributed to this rich tapestry of thought. As we reflect on these profound interpretations, we see how Jacob's ladder has shaped Christian thought and practice for centuries. Its enduring relevance lies in its timeless message of divine connection and guidance. The vision continues to inspire us today, reminding us that regardless of the complexities of life, God's grace and mercy are always ascending and descending on our behalf. It is this enduring promise that has guided believers throughout history and continues to do so in the present day. In Gnosticism, the concept of a spiritual ascent resonates deeply with the imagery of Jacob's ladder. The ladder of divine ascent, for instance, is a text that delves into the journey of the soul towards divine unity. The Gnostics believed in a spiritual hierarchy where different levels or realms exist, mirroring the idea of angels moving up and down Jacob's ladder. This ascent and descent symbolized the soul's progression through these realms. In texts like the Ladder of Divine Ascent, Each rung represents a stage in the spiritual growth of the individual. This progression is seen as a path towards enlightenment and unity with the divine. For Gnostics, angels in Jacob's vision are not merely messengers, but spiritual entities guiding the soul along this journey. Their movement signifies the dynamic interaction between different realms of existence. The symbolism of ascending and descending spirits in Gnostic tradition underscores the idea that spiritual growth is an ongoing process, much like Jacob's visionary experience. It emphasizes a dynamic rather than static journey towards divine wisdom. In contrast to mainstream Christian or Jewish interpretations, Gnostic views offer a more mystical and personalized approach to spiritual growth. They emphasize the individual's quest for enlightenment through inner work and divine guidance. Throughout history, Jacob's ladder has been a powerful symbol of connection between the earthly and divine realms. Gnostic interpretations add another layer to this narrative, highlighting the deeply personal nature of spiritual ascension. The ladder's rungs, in this context, become steps that each individual must climb, guided by internal wisdom and divine grace. This interpretation serves as a reminder of the diverse ways religious traditions have interpreted this timeless vision. As we consider Jacob's ladder today, it is fascinating to see how different faiths have woven their own meanings into this ancient narrative. Each interpretation offers a unique perspective on the spiritual journey and our place within the cosmos. The Gnostic view, with its emphasis on personal spiritual growth, adds depth to our understanding of Jacob's visionary experience. It reminds us that the path towards divine wisdom is an intimate and ongoing journey for each individual. In this light, we see not just a grand narrative but a deeply personal one, a testament to the enduring significance of Jacob's ladder as a symbol of spiritual growth and divine connection. In the spiritual landscape of Eastern Orthodoxy, Jacob's ladder has taken on a profound significance, becoming a central metaphor for divine ascent. This metaphor is particularly illuminated through the writings of John Climacus, a 6th century Egyptian monk whose ladder of divine ascent has become a foundational text in Eastern Orthodox spirituality. Each rung on Climacus's ladder signifies a spiritual discipline or virtue that the aspirant must cultivate to ascend closer to divine communion. The parallels between Climacus's ladder and Jacob's vision are striking. Both serve as a spiritual roadmap towards higher spiritual realms. This vision of angels ascending and descending has been interpreted by Eastern Orthodox scholars as a symbol of divine grace continually at work in human lives. Gregory Palamas, a 14th century theologian and mystic, further expanded on this theme, emphasizing that divine grace is a perpetual presence guiding human souls. Palamas taught that this divine interaction is a constant process of purification and illumination, much like the continual movement of angels on Jacob's ladder. The vision thus becomes a powerful reminder that the path to divine union is not a solitary journey, but one facilitated by continuous divine intervention. In this light, Jacob's ladder transcends its literal narrative in Genesis, offering a rich tapestry of spiritual teachings that have guided Eastern Orthodox believers for centuries. The enduring significance of Jacob's ladder lies not merely in its historical context, but in its enduring relevance as a symbol of spiritual growth and divine connection. The Book of Enoch, a significant text in Jewish and Christian traditions, describes heavenly ladders that angels traverse to deliver messages from God. This imagery mirrors the vision in Genesis, reinforcing the theme of celestial messengers and divine connection. In Daniel's dream, a figure ascends to heaven on a ladder, much like Jacob's vision in Genesis. This parallel underscores the continuity of the ladder motif as a symbol of prophetic revelation and communication with the divine. Revelation also depicts a stairway to heaven, emphasizing the enduring significance of this imagery within apocalyptic literature. The ladder serves as a potent symbol linking earthly realms with the divine, echoing Jacob's profound encounter. Across these texts, the ladder represents a consistent theme of communication and revelation from the heavenly sphere to humanity. This enduring symbolism underscores the profound and lasting impact of Jacob's ladder on religious thought. Jacob's vision in Genesis thus stands not just as a historical event, but also as a foundational metaphor that has shaped spiritual understandings across millennia. The ladder's enduring resonance highlights the depth of human aspiration to bridge the gap between earth and heaven, reflecting a universal longing for divine connection. In its echoes through apocalyptic literature, Jacob's ladder serves as a poignant reminder of our shared human quest to comprehend and connect with the divine. As we explore these themes, we are drawn into the rich tapestry of religious thought, where Jacob's ladder remains a timeless symbol of revelation and spiritual aspiration. Consider the book of Daniel, for instance. In chapter 7, Daniel has a vision of 4 beasts rising from the sea. Each beast represents a different kingdom on earth, but above them all, there is an ancient one sitting on a throne with wheels of fire, a clear reference to God's heavenly realm. In the book of Revelation, we see a similar pattern. John sees 7 angels blowing trumpets and opens a scroll sealed with 7 seals, revealing apocalyptic visions that unveil the divine plan for humanity. In Ezekiel 1428, we see another complex vision involving living creatures with 4 faces and 4 wings, along with wheels within wheels, which Ezekiel interprets as heavenly chariots. This imagery is strikingly similar to that found in Revelation and Daniel's visions. These apocalyptic texts share a common thread. They offer glimpses into the divine realm, revealing God's intentions and promises to humanity. This tradition of revelation has profoundly influenced both Jewish and Christian thought about heavenly realms and God's covenant with his people. Jacob's ladder, therefore, is part of a rich tapestry of divine visions that have shaped our understanding of the relationship between God and humanity. It stands as a timeless symbol of revelation and spiritual aspiration. For centuries, these visions have offered solace and guidance to believers, reminding us that there is a higher power at work, even in the midst of chaos and uncertainty. As we reflect on these themes, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty and complexity of such divine revelations. They remind us that our place in the cosmos is both humble and profoundly significant. So, as we continue to explore these visions, let's keep in mind the enduring message they carry, that there is a divine hand guiding us, even when it seems hidden from view.